Welcome back. I remember when this was your office.
Thanks for having me, Rachel. I appreciate it. I love what you've done with the place.
Well, thank you. I have big shoes to fill. So you were dean from 2008 to 2016, then provost, executive vice president, special advisor to the president, and now acting president.
Obviously, I can't keep a job.
No, it's been a real time of transition and transformation. Now you're leading in transition again. And so what does it mean to be a leader during transformation, during transition, during change?
It's hard. I think that what we'd all love to do is come to work and go, I don't have anything I need to do today. And it's so not that. But at the same time, I think it's really exciting. It gives us a chance to think about the future and the world we're trying to shape. And for us in an educational environment, the world we're trying to shape through the students that we will send out of here. I'd like to think that we send people out who will, in fact, change the world. And I've often said, the cure for cancer could be right in our neighborhood. And shame on us as a city and a nation if we don't make it possible for that person to experience the education that they need in order to unlock that potential. So it's exciting to be a part of this. And the transition sort of makes that on steroids. So that you aren't complacent, you aren't sanguine. We're just the very opposite of it. We have to think about what we'd like the world to be and how we might be a part of bringing that about.
When you were dean, and JoAnne, you hired me as dean,
remember.
so I'm very grateful. Well, you had a sign on your desk that read, "And this is good for students because ... And I remember that sign so clearly because student success it is key to how you think about the priorities of this university. How is it informing your vision now?
Well, first of all, Rachel, I love that sign, and I wish I knew what happened to it. But
Greg has it.
Oh, good. I know where to find it. But it really is why we're here, and you can get caught up as an administrator and forget that. You could be so caught up in running the place that you forget why you're running it. And so that sign really is, I think, important for all of us to remember. And I bring it to this job because even in this new role and this new platform, we have to remember why we're here, why we're doing this. And when we think about things that might seem like a good idea, I think it really is a good question. And this is good for the students because, and clearly they're not the only part of the constituency. We need to be an attractive place for people to want to work and conduct research. But ultimately, I think it's the students that define the vision that we have of this place and why we do what we do.
Well, that's a hallmark of your leadership, and every role that you've had is investment in the community, and that's also part of our mission here at Temple. I mean, it's something near and dear to my heart, and it's something I think the law school still strives to make part of its mission. And you've invested in the wellness and the livelihoods of our neighbors here in North Philadelphia. You've been a leader in the legal community. I guess my final question would be, how do we move forward with that at the heart of our agenda, continuing to invest in the communities that surround us and be partners to those neighborhoods?
I welcome the question. There's so much that is happening between Temple and the community right now. Really impactful plans and organizations that are going to change the lives of some of the people in our community. So we're not only touching the lives of our students, we're touching the lives of the people that are our partners in this part of the city. That's really exciting. And so the notion that we would view ourselves as just occupying this land is totally not the way we look at things. After I got named, there was an onslaught of people who reached out in a variety of ways. But one of the calls that I remember is a community member. And she said, "JoAnne, I have known you forever, and I'm so proud of you." And she just went on and on about having known me and watched me grow. And I think the fact that she felt so warm and engaging made me feel the connection. And so the notion that I can walk out of this place and see members of the community who I know by name and who know me by name, who know my husband, who know the kinds of things that we believe in is, I think, really important. And so I'm really proud of that. I love throwing my hand up and saying, hey, I like being able to call members of the communities I've done not both before and after taking this position, and just checking in. And I always said, mostly as the law school dean, when people would ask me about picking a law school, there are many places in America to get a fine legal education. There's many places in America to get a fine college education. this is a special place. It is a place where I think people come because they want to be here. They want to be a part of the central mission of Temple University. And so I think that we will be forever connected at the hip with the community because it's who we are.
I agree. I agree. And it's something that you embody
Well, thank you.
for those that you've mentored, for your
Yeah,
colleagues and friends. So
appreciate it.
thank you.
Absolutely. It's great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you.